worth over 16,000 crore rupees. That's what the Karnataka Lokayukta found after months of investigation. Close to 40% of the illegal mining in Karnataka takes place in Bellary, the home of what is referred to as black gold. The town is now on the global map for the much in demand iron ore. But this utterly underdeveloped district also has a lot of secrets. NewsX is now travelling to the land of the mining lords, the epicenter of the mining scam.
The historic city of Bellary is located in central Karnataka. It's well connected by road, railway and also by air. It's roughly 250 kilometers from the state capital of Bangalore. With a population of close to 25 lakh people, it consists of 8 taluks including Bellary, Hospet and Sandur. While the district is endowed with rich natural resources, agriculture is also an important occupation. Apart from this, there's a thriving jeans industry and a number of steel plants as well. However, it's the mining industry that has now made Bellary the second fastest growing city in the state. But what was once a boon for this district has now turned into a bane. Thanks to hungry businessmen looking to make some quick money. Recent political developments have changed things, especially since the wrongdoers and exploiters of this region have been caught red-handed.
Second Lokayukta report on illegal mining has been an explosive one. It has damned some of the most powerful politicians in the state of Karnataka. The iron ore-rich region of Bellary has been repeatedly looted for very many years by these very netas. Be it systemic corruption, encroachment of forest land or underpayment of royalties to the state, there has been a complete breakdown of democracy here. Welcome to the Republic of Bellary.
Mining originated in Bellary in the 1800s during the time of Tipu Sultan. His army is said to have made use of the iron ore and manganese deposits for their artillery. Organized mining, however, started back in the 1950s. While it was originally confined to a few traditional mining families, it slowly caught the attention of more people.
Mining has been prevalent in the Karnataka state for last 5 decades now, and illegal mining really took the forefront pre-Beijing Olympics, when there was a lot of infrastructure development happening in the Chinese areas.
The Lokayukta report brought to the fore some very ugly truths, so much so that it brought down the first Chief Minister of the Bharatiya Janata Party south of the Vindhyas, B.S. Yediyurappa. Along with him on the chopping block are mining magnates G. Janardhan Reddy, Karnakar Reddy, Somashekar Reddy, their close aide Sri Ramalu, JDS's H.D. Kumaraswamy and some members of the Congress as well. These men have been indicted for being directly or indirectly involved in illegally mining thousands and thousands of tons of irreplaceable and invaluable iron ore. All thanks to China, India's biggest economic adversary. It was the massive orders during the Beijing Olympics that caused a spurt in the demand for this rich natural resource.
It was in 1999 that the central government decided to allow private companies to export iron ore. That was also the time that the price of iron ore shot up. But the watershed period was the Beijing Olympics. There was the booming realty demand in China to put in place infrastructure for the games. This led to more and more people exploiting the region in search of this precious metal. So much so that many even began digging their own land, hoping to strike iron.
Karnataka has the best iron ore quality in terms of what we deliver. You get 63 plus grade, which no other state in India delivers. And that is when people came to know the value of iron ore.
The cost of a ton of iron ore touched almost 450 rupees. The rate of iron ore extraction in the Bellary Hospet Sandur belt was 49 million tons in 2009-2010.
Come to one of the mines here in Bellary district. What you can see behind me is one of the 5 blocks of this particular mine. The mining begins right from the top and they go all the way to the bottom. This took about 30 to 35 years to take place. What you can see in dark blue black, that's the iron ore. At this point in time, no work is really going on in the mine because of a court order. Yes, the work starts from the top all the way to the bottom. It all begins with exploration. They then go on to get leases and finally they begin the mining work where they actually extract iron ore. This is what pure iron ore really looks like, and this is what Bellary is today extremely famous for and is in the news for all the wrong reasons.
Working outside the law is so prevalent here that between 2006 and 2010, close to 300 lakh metric tons of iron ore was exported out of Karnataka with no valid permit. There have been serious systematic distortions due to high profit margins.
This particular thing to only one particular person who's doing mining in Karnataka. We have documents in regard to various mining companies which are indulging in the same modus operandi, and they're denying that they have any mining activities in the state of Karnataka. We have materials to show that they are directly involved in it. The export of iron ore has taken illegally from the state of Karnataka, and even the fact that they have been deposited in foreign accounts.
There are about 132 mining leases given in the district of Bellary. About 99 of them are in the forest areas, about 32 to 33 of them are on the government land. Many of these are not renewed and are therefore invalid. While these are an important source of illegally extracted iron ore, the most amount of illegality happens through those which have valid leases. This is done either by shifting the boundary lines, by extracting more ore than is permitted, or by encroaching on forest or government land.
The turning point, however, came with the involvement of powerful politicians. Most notably were the infamous Reddy brothers. With no mining permits in Karnataka, it's an open secret how the family rules the roost as far as Bellary goes.
The Reddy brothers grew up in an average middle-class family. Their rise to power, however, has been meteoric. Today, they're said to be the muscle power of the Bharatiya Janata Party. They are at the center of the mining controversy and have been seriously indicted in the second Lokayukta report for manipulating and bending possibly every rule in the book. The Rubalapura mining company is said to have exported close to 71 lakh metric tons of iron ore from Karnataka. This is the very company which they claim is operating out of Andhra Pradesh.
People whom we are talking about are came to limelight sometime in 2000 after the Bellary Sonia Gandhi who came to fight elections, and that is when they already had made their own marks within the communities there, and that's when they were closer to the Andhra CM and things cropped up like that. Because of their own political power and their access to the political and the government institutions, it was easier for them to take this route.
So it is a correct thing, because large scale illegal mining happened in Bellary since from 2006 to 10. It is a major. That too from 2008, after he came to the power as a minister with 3 ministers, then the power has been multiplied, because one side Karnataka, one side Andhra, so both clubbed. They have made a vast network.
ಒಂದು 10 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಇವ್ರು ಏನು ಇದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಇವತ್ತು ಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬಂದದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇವು 10 ಲಕ್ಷ ಇರೋವಂಥವ್ರು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕೋಟಿಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಗಳು. ತಗೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ರೈತರನ್ನ ಊರಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ತಮ್ಮ ಅನುಕೂಲಕ್ಕೆ ತಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ದುಡ್ಡುಗಳು ತಗೊಂಡು.
The Lokayukta report clearly indicts the Reddy brothers on several serious counts regarding illegal mining. They've been accused of colluding with government officials from the highest order to the lowest rank. They were known to get officials of their choice posted in the region to make their work easy. Anyone who disagreed was quietly transferred.
Investigation to prepare a second report in regard to illegal export of iron ore We have come across many illegalities and many powerful people in the state of Karnataka being involved in illegal mining. There are some companies which claim that they don't have any mining interest in Karnataka, but as per the information that we have as on date, I think those companies are also involved in illegal mining in Karnataka. And we also have documents in regard to that.
No, after this report, let us wait for that. When they don't have any transaction in Karnataka, the question of Reddy brothers' involvement does not arise at all. That's why I'm telling you, if at all if they have any business or transaction in only in Andhra Pradesh, not in Karnataka.
The Reddys adopted several methods to make good use of mining in the area. All, of course, was outside the purview of the law. Being the district in charge minister was an added advantage. Documents were fabricated to allow encroachment of forest land. Mining was done in a reckless manner. They shifted the notified extraction area to their convenience. They made sure that their iron stock was not stopped at checkposts by adopting code systems. Fake road permits were printed. Lorries were overloaded with iron ore. Officials were conveniently bribed to remain silent and look the other way.
The Reddy brothers have been attributed with evolving a very interesting method to carry out their illegal mining activities. Known as the risk amount, this involves transporting of the illegally mined iron ore to its destination with zero risk. What happens is there is a risker who takes the responsibility to transport the iron ore through illegal methods to its destination. In case they are caught, the guarantor takes responsibility to get it released again through illegal methods. The entire process shows how there is a nexus between politicians and bureaucrats and how the mining mafia really functions.
This mafia type of operation was done with the full support of politicians, police officials, RTO, mines, forest, revenue, commercial taxes, labor and other departments as well. There was a parallel government in Bellary, a complete collapse of administration. Even other mine owners were asked to play along. Ekambaram, his brother Tapal Ganesh and their family were one such victims. Ekambaram's family owns the Tumti mines in Bellary, adjacent to the Reddy-owned Obulapuram Mining Company in Andhra Pradesh. The OMC encroached into the Tumti mines. That's when Ekambaram and his family took on the Reddy brothers.
We made a complaint to the forest department, in turn police department. The forest peoples have Karnataka inspected the area and found some encroachment by OMC. So that was a forest offence case was also registered against him.
The family continues to battle it out with the Reddys in the courts, but it hasn't been easy for them. They've been physically assaulted by men said to be working for the Reddys and continue to face threats. These are the same netas who continue to maintain that they're not carrying out any mining activity in Karnataka. The political clout of the Reddy brothers covers at least 6 districts in Karnataka, but the greed to get more out of these hills has not done any good for the environment. Forest land has been plundered here. Air and water pollution standards have been violated. Miners use unscientific and unsustainable methods to extract ore. The Lokayukta report says that forest department officials themselves failed to protect these green spaces. In many cases, leases were given by treating forest land as agricultural or patta land.
Some of the areas taking leases very quickly by declaring through officials forest areas as non-forest areas, because as you know, if it's a forest area, the procedure of taking the permission is very lengthy. So they needed to take it early. So a large number of companies have done that.
Hills that were once green have now turned into dust bowls. The ecology here in Bellary has been completely ravaged. Precious forest cover has been lost. It's the greed of a few that has caused a lot of suffering. That's what the Supreme Court said before it gave its orders on a temporary ban on mining here in the district of Bellary. The Apex Court also directed the government of Karnataka to immediately get into action and help restore the environmental balance here in the district. It has also directed mining companies to be involved in the cleanup drive. Just days after the Supreme Court gave its orders on suspending mining activities in the district of Bellary, the brazen disregard for law can still be seen. These 48 lorries have been seized and detained by the Deputy Commissioner of Bellary district and at this point in time have been kept at the RTO office. Each of these lorries have iron ore in them. They were caught at Allipura on Hospet Road. This even as the Apex Court has clearly stated that iron ore cannot be transported. The case is being investigated to get details of which mining company was allowing this iron ore to be transported and how they got permits to transport them.
We seized 49 vehicles with iron ore in it, total of around 8,000 tons, roughly valued at about 35 lakhs or so. And we found that the permits for these, though they were not produced by the vehicle transporters, permits were issued by the Forest Department on the 30th in the morning, which of course is a violation of the Supreme Court's ban order.
हमें जो कल BMC के लिए माइंस लोड करने के लिए गए थे, उधर लोड करके आया, लोड लेके आया था, उधर फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट का परमिट दिया, बाद में DMG का ये परमिट भी दिया, ये बल्क परमिट भी दिया, पूरा एक पक्का डॉक्यूमेंट है। हमें लोड करके इधर अनलोड करके आने के लिए आए थे, वो DC साहब आके गाड़ी पकड़ के ये इलीगल माइनिंग बोल के और DC साहब बोल रहा है, लेकिन ये इलीगल नहीं है। उन्हें क्या बोल रहे हैं 29 का सुप्रीम कोर्ट जो ऑर्डर हो गया क्या माइनिंग ट्रांसपोर्ट नहीं करना बोल के, वो जो एज लॉरी ओनर हमको मालूम नहीं था।
These lorries belong to the Bellary Mining Corporation, co-owned by Srinivas Reddy, who is also a director of the Obalapuram Mining Company, a trail that again points to Janardhan Reddy and his family.
Bellary is a separate ruling system. Here, no law, no constitution, nothing is worked out here. What Reddy brothers are saying, it's binding. It's to everybody. So, because of his political power, money power, muscle power.
The Bellary brothers have amassed close to 215 crore rupees from illegal mining and 63 crore rupees from Benami companies. While they have become wealthy mining barons, the city of Bellary has been ravaged. The rich and the poor live side by side. Mining may be a way of life here, but poverty looms large. It ranks low on literacy, healthcare and drinking water. Bellary is not just in dire need of a political change, but a change in their way of life as well.
अभिवृद्धि नहीं हुआ है, वो फैक्ट्री के वो सभी धूल वो सभी वो आदमी का भी जरा बीमारी वो सभी फैक्ट्री सभी बंद है, तो ये धूल भी नहीं रहता, जब आदमी सभी आराम से रहते हैं, जब आराम से सभी गाँव
ಇದಾವೆ ಕ್ಯಾ ಅವರು ಶ್ರೀಮಂತರು ಈಗ ಗಣಿ ಮಾಲೀಕರಂದಾಗ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಹಣ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರು ರಾಜಕೀಯದಾಗ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ, ಆದರೆ ಅವರು ಶ್ರೀಮಂತಿಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅವ್ರು